In 2026, 5 gun law changes are coming that could instantly turn ordinary gun owners into felons, not because they meant to break the law and not because they did anything dangerous, but because the rules themselves are about to shift suddenly and without warning. If you carry a gun concealed, keep a firearm at home for protection, or plan on buying even one NFA item, at least one of these 5 changes will reach straight into your life. And the countdown has already started, whether you've heard about it or not. Most people think gun laws change slowly. A bill passes here, a vote happens there, and the effects trickle down over years. Not this time. What's coming in 2026 is a perfect storm. Federal changes, state-level restrictions, new sentencing guidelines, brand new training requirements, red flag expansion, and the possibility, though far from guaranteed, of a national concealed carry revolution. But as always in the gun world, every good change comes with strings attached, and every bad change comes with a hidden trap. So today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 gun law updates arriving next year, what they really mean behind the headlines, and why so few Americans know what's about to hit. By the time you finish this video, you won't be caught off guard, but if you skip any part of it, you may miss the exact detail that could protect your freedom. So let's take a deep breath, get ready, and step into the reality of 2026. Let's begin with the change that sounds like a celebration, but hides a surprisingly sharp edge: the removal of the $200 NFA tax stamp. For the first time since 1934, the federal government will no longer charge the infamous tax to purchase or register a suppressor, a short-barreled rifle, a short-barreled shotgun, or any other weapon categorized under the National Firearms Act. On January 1st, 2026, you won't owe a penny to acquire those items, and a lot of gun owners are cheering. But here's the detail most people do not understand. The government removed the fee. It did not remove the system. You still must file with the ATF, still submit fingerprints, still provide a photo, still go into a permanent federal database, still wait 3 to 6 months or more for approval. The only thing gone is the money. Everything else stays exactly the same. And that creates a new problem nobody is talking about. Demand is about to explode. Every person who avoided buying a suppressor because $200 is too much is suddenly going to file. Every gun owner who said, "I'll get an SBR someday," is suddenly getting one. Every dealer is preparing for a tsunami of applications, and the ATF, which already struggles to keep pace, will be pushed to the breaking point. That means very long wait times. Some experts predict 9 months, others predict a full year. So yes, you're saving money, but you may be adding months of delay. And don't forget, some states still ban suppressors entirely. California, New York, New Jersey, Hawaii, Delaware, Illinois, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. If you live in one of these states, nothing changes. Federal permission doesn't override state law. If you try to acquire a suppressor in a banned state, you're committing a felony whether the fee exists or not. And if you possess any NFA item without registration, you're facing 10 years in federal prison. So while the tax stamp is gone, the risk is still very real. But while the federal government is offering a small win with the NFA tax, it is also tightening the screws somewhere far more important: federal sentencing guidelines. Beginning November 1st, 2025, and continuing straight into 2026, ATF enforcement of straw purchases and 4473 violations is becoming more aggressive, more digital, and more unforgiving. Straw purchases now carry a maximum of 10 years in prison, double the previous amount. Lying about marijuana use on a 4473 now carries 5 years instead of 2, and don't think these numbers are empty threats. The ATF is now using something they've never had before: nationwide digital cross-checking. When you fill out a 4473, the form doesn't just go into a drawer, it gets scanned, indexed, and stored. The ATF can now compare that information to your financial transactions, your social media posts, state medical marijuana databases, DUI or drug arrest records, and even security camera footage from the gun store itself. If you post a picture smoking THC on Friday and try to buy a gun on Monday, the ATF will see it. If you use Cash App or Zelle to receive money from someone right before you buy a gun for them, they will see it. If you walk into a gun store with someone who is prohibited from owning a gun and you buy a firearm that same day, the camera footage can and will be used against you. Straw purchases aren't a small mistake anymore. They are a guaranteed felony with enhanced penalties. And the ATF is hunting for them with tools more powerful than ever. But if federal law is tightening, Colorado is about to go in an entirely different direction, and their decision is going to create ripple effects all across the country. Beginning August 1st, 2026, Colorado will require a brand new permit to purchase any semi-automatic firearm. And this isn't a simple background check. This permit requires 4 hours of classroom training, live fire range qualification, and an instructor who must be pre-approved by the state. The permit lasts 5 years and must be renewed. If you move into Colorado, you must take the class. If you don't already have a concealed carry permit, you must take the class. And if you buy a semi-automatic firearm without the class, you're committing a crime. Dealers can also be prosecuted if they transfer a firearm without checking the permit. Supporters describe this as a safety measure. Critics call it a backdoor gun registry. But the scariest part isn't what it does to Colorado. It's what it might do beyond Colorado. Because other states are watching. Oregon is watching. Washington is watching. Michigan is watching. And if the Colorado model works, it becomes the template for half a dozen states to create their own semi-auto purchase permits. Some states are already whispering about extending these requirements to magazines, ammunition, or semi-auto pistols. What Colorado does in 2026 could be the beginning of a national trend disguised as safety. And if you think that's concerning, Kentucky's change is even more unpredictable. Beginning February 1st, 2026, Kentucky will become the 22nd state with a red flag law known as an ERPO, or Extreme Risk Protection Order. But the Kentucky version is unusually broad. Your ex-spouse can file. Your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend can file. Someone you lived with 12 months ago can file. A relative can file. And of course, police can file. They don't need proof beyond a reasonable doubt. They don't need clear and convincing evidence. They only need reasonable cause, one of the lowest legal standards possible. If a judge believes that standard is met, police can seize your firearms within 24 hours, suspend your concealed carry permit on the spot, and you may not even know about the accusation until officers knock on your door. Only after 14 days do you get a hearing to defend yourself. And if the order is extended, it can last a full year and be renewed again. Many people think ERPOs are about criminals, but most ERPO cases in the U.S. involve relationship disputes, breakups, arguments between family members, or emotionally heated moments. Kentucky's RPO law isn't just a gun law. It's a relationship law, and that makes it extremely unpredictable. But while some states restrict, others are pushing for the biggest expansion of gun rights since Heller. The bill known as H.R. 38, the National Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act, could, if passed, make every concealed carry permit valid nationwide, just like a driver's license. Imagine carrying legally from Florida to California, from Texas to New Jersey, from Arizona to New York. That's the vision behind H.R. 38, but the fight is far from over. The bill still hasn't cleared the House Judiciary Committee. Even if it passes there, it faces resistance in the Senate. And even if it passes the Senate, states like California, New York, and New Jersey will immediately sue. Federal judges in those states could freeze the law the moment it goes into effect. If H.R. 38 becomes law, it will be a national game changer. If it fails, states opposed to concealed carry may push back harder than ever. So what should gun owners do right now? Start by marking the dates. January 1st. The NFA tax stamp disappears. February 1st, Kentucky's ERPIO system activates. August 1st, Colorado's semi-auto permit begins. November 1st, the federal sentencing changes are fully active. And any day in 2026, H.R. 38 could move or die. These deadlines are not optional. Missing them could cost you money, your rights, or even your freedom. 2026 isn't just another year. It's a turning point. A year when laws change faster than most people can follow. A year when the ATF gains new digital power. A year when states experiment with new restrictions. And a year when federal courts may reshape concealed carry nationwide. The gun owners who know what's coming will stay safe, not just physically, but legally. The gun owners who don't may be in for a painful surprise. If you want to stay ahead of these changes in real time, hit subscribe. The laws are changing fast, and ignorance isn't just dangerous, it's criminal.